Okay. So Bob Van Dillen, right quick, I just want to get you to chime in on some of this here. Bob, are you there?
Hey, there he
Hey,
is.
how are you?
Good. How's it going?
I'm doing great. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So guys, Bob Van Dillen, wonderful meteorologist and just a fantastic human being. You see him every morning on Morning Express with Robin Meade.
Yeah.
And so I'm just happy to see you and your family. Our families have been friends for 10 years now.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
At least.
10
Yeah.
years now. His wife Allie is one of the most beautiful souls I've
Mm.
ever met.
I got lucky.
Kids, their kids are great. Our kids have been in school together and things like that. So Bob, talking about, as I told you, men's health,
Yeah.
talking about being able to refresh your mind, your body, your spirit, especially during this time, talking about working from home. You know, Ginger Z, meteorologist on GMA, Good Morning America, good friend of mine, and I've been seeing her trying to do what you guys do from home. But in terms of, again, we keep talking about this backdrop of pandemics, between the virus, between racism, between the expectations for men that society puts on them, let alone the family dynamic, let alone how they may have been raised, things like that. How do you find for yourself being able to, you know, just kind of manage all of that?
Well, I'll tell you, it's funny because when the pandemic hit, we had all kinds of vacations. We had spring break ready to go, canceled, right? We're in our basement, couldn't go anywhere. We had other trips to go out there. We had a couple of trips. I was with Travelocity. I was going to go to the Grand Canyon and do a commercial with them. Gone. So we were stuck in our basement forever. Now, we were on a phone chat like this with Jeff Zucker. He's the chief of CNN. And he said, which I thought was brilliant, was like, listen, just because you can't go on trips doesn't mean you can't take your PTO to let your mind just ease and relax. And this is the first week I've had off. You can see I've got the mustache going a little. It's horrible, but this last week is the first week I've had off since January. And you have to take time off. You have to put the phone down. You have to put the paper down. And you can't watch the news for at least a couple hours. I know it's so hard not to, especially in my business. I have to be up on everything, like not just the weather. If you look outside now, we've got the Saharan dust. I mean, that's cool. But I mean, I don't even want to know about that when I'm on vacation. I just want to put my head down, be with the family, and just chill for once. It's not that easy to do. But I think taking time for yourself is the number one thing, Kim. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. When you are in that sense of hyper awareness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it help at all? I know for a lot of times for women and moms, they talk about don't jump from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. You know, try to have a little respite.
Yeah, respite. There it is.
In between your tasks.
Yeah.
Is that something that as a dude you feel is doable? Or are you like, nah, that's for y'all. We gotta do something different.
You know, I don't think I can. It's hard for me to sit down. Like, for instance, right now we're redoing a house that we're ready to try to sell in a couple of weeks, and I've been here for almost the entire week, painting, scrubbing, just putting up new floorboards, stuff like that. So it's hard for me to have a respite, even when I'm on vacation. Jeff Zucker's like, take some time for yourself. Well, I did, and here I've got a task of stuff I have to do. So I think it's all personal. For me, if I sit down, I feel like I'm going to grow moss. You know what I mean? So
right.
That's the problem.
As a dad, and you know, we always tell you, yeah, you know, you and Allie are just a spectacular pair of parents.
Thank you.
Just some cool ass kids, if I can say it like that,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, very much so. But as a dad for you right now, you know, and you've got Sid, you've Adrian Holmes, stop it. But you've got a girl and a boy. And they're both, I can't even believe, in their teens now.
I know.
So how do you find navigating all of this as a parent?
It's not easy. And now my son Jack just got his license, and he takes our beater car around. And listen, I don't even want to tell you about that. We met when Jack was 4.
Yeah.
Now he's got his license and he's driving around. So that's a whole new thing. Like, you know, Atlanta traffic, it's not the easiest. So that's a
Yeah.
whole new thing.
Yeah.
But trying to juggle these kids when they shut school down, they were at home the whole time. Trying to get these kids up so they're not waking up at noon after about 3 weeks, that was the hardest part, is to keep these kids on a schedule. And I had to be on a schedule anyway, because I had to broadcast from my basement, and I'm still doing it. And I'm up at 4 o'clock, and I'm doing it. These kids don't get up until noon sometimes. So once we cracked down on that kid, we got it back on a regular schedule. Look, you're going to get up, you're going to do your 9 o'clock chores, which is might be the dishes. It could probably be your homework, most likely, because they still have stuff to do during the summertime. As long as they're doing that and they're on a schedule, it's almost back to normal. I mean, the new normal, but it's, you know, it's not really. It's difficult.
Yeah. And that's in terms of, you know, the quarantine and all of those things. But in terms of, you know, I know you guys are very aware.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you know, you grew up you're from Jersey.
Right. I grew up with everybody, sure.
Yeah, exactly. So
played on football teams. We all played together. Nice. This was never an issue when I was a kid, at least as far as I didn't know. But the thing that we talk about with the Black Lives Matter, it's tough to explain to a 13-year-old why just their lives matter. It's not about that. I keep on telling them. It's the fact that their lives matter just as much as everybody else's. And you have to remember that sometimes they're not treated as well. And we have to stop that stuff. And that's why the Black Lives Matter for our family, it's important. It's something we talk about. It's not just they're better than everybody else. No. They have to get equal with everybody else in the mind of everybody else in the country before we can start having an actual conversation. And that's why it's so important for us. Because, you know, I grew up with everybody. It wasn't even an issue up north. It really wasn't.
That's right.
Now it is.
That's right. So now you guys see why it was important for me to get Bob in the building for a couple of minutes, because Bob is the truth. His wife Allie, again, is just one of the, I mean, they're gems, but I appreciate who they are as parents. You know, the proof is in the pudding, you know, and when we're dealing with things that are generational, you want to look at, you know, not just who we are and, you know, just say, okay, fine. You know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks if that's what you're going to subscribe to when it comes to redirecting people's minds and their hearts. But when you start looking at the next generations, I'd look at, well, who are the parents? What are y'all teaching? You know,
it's so important. It's so important right now, especially. And this stuff that's coming to light now, I think it's fantastic in the time of my kids' lives. They're 13 and 16. This is formative years for them, and I think it's great.
Yeah, very much so. I know you got to get back to work, making the house all amazing, as if it could be more amazing. But thanks for the time. I have to get downstairs too. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, brother. Give Allie my love. Give the kids our best.
I will.
Talk to you
Honored
soon.
to talk to you. Honored to talk to you.
All right.
See you later.
Bye. Okay, so those are our awesome dudes chat. No, that's not what he said. Don't be ignorant on here, okay? It's not that he said it's coming to light now, and don't say boy bye. No, because that's not what he said. What he was saying was the things that he had to deal with and didn't have to deal with growing up in his area in Jersey. It's not something he had to deal with. And that's why he's saying certain things are coming to light now in that regard. Keep it in context, people. Don't take out what things people say out of context and try to misconstrue it and to put it into something else. I said misconstrue because that's an inside joke that I have. Never mind. I know what the word is, so we're not going to have another word of the day. So thank you so much, Randy. Let me try to call you from the car, and we can pick this back up with Randy Havens from Stranger Things. I'm from New York, so I get it, you know, and there's still, it's everywhere, just in different ways. Okay, we got it. Hi, Randy. I'm sorry, brother, but we will connect. I promise you. So guys, thank you for stopping by, being a part of the conversations. Thank you to all of our amazing dudes today. They were fantastic. Again, you can see last weekend's chats. You can see today. And I really just appreciate the support, you know, that you give them, the support that you give our dudes, the support that you give to me and my platforms. If you enjoyed all of this, again, over at Refresh, thank you from my team at Refresh by KF. I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to run because I have to get to the set for the project that I'm directing. I will tell you about that very, very soon. But have an amazing Saturday. Take some of the things that were shared today to heart. Take some of the things and share them. If you were, you know, if you have dudes in your village that are part of your circle and you want to share these conversations with them. We will, of course, like I told you last week and this week, we will have links to everything. That was my assistant director, like, let me know when you're 5 minutes away. Okay, hope he's not watching right now. But we will have links to anything that was brought up, books, of course, links to everybody that has been a part of these conversations, to be able for you to connect with them and stay connected to them with their work, with everything that they may be doing, their tips, everything. So thank you so much for this. I'm glad that this was put on my spirit, and I'm glad that it's being received the way that it is. So have an amazing Saturday, guys. Talk soon.